sequence for a moment, and I would like to have the great honor of introducing the dynamo, the engine, the force behind the, whatever it's called. Yeah, the medical missions. Salam medical missions. And as you all know, if you don't, I will be surprised. I'm talking about my friend of 55 years, Rita Zawaideh.
Hi, everybody. Good afternoon. I'm so glad you're all here. I have all these beautiful people that I love that are in this room that we've worked so hard, and also all those fabulous volunteers that are here. So give a big hand to everybody, and especially a big hand to the series and partner. When they first came, it was really difficult for them. They'd ask such dumb questions, you know? They didn't know what a disposal was or how to use a disposal, and they'd end up putting regular pins or forks or whatever, or a dishwasher, stuff that they just didn't know at all what to do with and stuff. So I get these weird calls late at night or something that was going on. But I also would like to take this time that we do have a couple of refugees that did come, and they were sick, and we ended up losing them after they were here for a very short time. So it was really sad for the families to have lost a mother, a brother, somebody or other. So, that was very traumatic for these people to be here and then have lose a loved one and not be close, and then with the pandemic and whatever else, so it was very, very hard to figure out what to do. But what I have behind me is a slideshow. Can we turn off the lights so we can see it? We have a little slideshow for you, which is showing you some of the families when they first came. So at different functions and stuff. And a lot of these kids here are now grown, and they came as little babies, and now they're, oh my God, they're obnoxious little teenagers. But that's okay. So here we go. So there's different ones at different places. There's slides. So does everyone recognize themselves in here? Thanks. Okay, change it. Let's just run through it. We ended up having when the Syrians came, it's really different than when the Afghans came, because we had one apartment building, pretty much, what everyone could stay at, which was really great, out by the airport. And because of that, we were able to have different functions for them. We would have learning English classes for them, swimming classes, music classes, different things so they could learn. We even had a coupon clipping class, so they could learn how to save money. And a woman that came in and taught them how to do that. And we had a guy that came in and taught them music and singing. And I think they loved the swimming most of all. And then we also did some mosaics. We ended up going to the Museum of Flight and Industry. And one of our speakers actually wanted to be a pilot at some point. And I'm not sure she is, but she'll tell you when she comes in. And all of this is a lot. And this little girl here in the middle is really, she's here now, she's running all around, and definitely knows exactly what she wants in the world. There she is. And stuff, and you see the other kids, these are when they're getting their Christmas presents or Eid presents or something or other. We try to do something to always make sure that the families were involved. We even got them at Thanksgiving dinners where they actually got to eat turkey and mashed potatoes and the stuffing. But I think they like the Syrian food a lot better, and I wouldn't blame them. It was really great. It's a lot better and stuff. Is it warm? So these are our also made, we had broken glass and they did a mosaic, which I was going to bring but I forgot today. They did this huge mosaic of life, of what they thought of life. And it was the tree of life that they did with broken glass and stuff. So we still have that, and hopefully at some point we'll be able to put it up for everyone to be able to see it. So you can see it's the kids and adults and everyone having a great time, and that's what we wanted. I mean, it was a very traumatic trip for them when they got here, so we wanted to make sure that they understood that there was a lot of people that were here, a lot of people that wanted to help them. We took them out to one of the islands and we took a ferry boat, and it was right before the ferry boat went out, and the FBI was called because there was all these guys that were on there that looked suspicious. So I made sure to call up the ferry boat and tell them, look, we got a whole group of Syrians and women with the hijab on, so please don't call the FBI or arrest anyone. These guys are just going for a picnic. And it was great. I mean, so it worked out well. They ended up getting on the ferry. They took their jabecas, their drums, and they were playing music and having a great time up there. We had a big picnic. This is another one where they were actually showing their food at the Seattle Center at the Arabic Fest, that they had a table. And people were buying their food and having it so that, you know, they could get a piece of their culture across to other people. So that's what we wanted to do. Okay, if you look around, you'll see some of these kids that are there, and they're probably seeing themselves as 4 or 5 years ago or something. We would take them to the aquarium, we took them to the zoo. I mean, SCM would try and do anything that we could to get them really involved and know the city that they were living in and to end up meeting. But you know, the best thing about it is all the damn volunteers. I mean, people were coming out of the woodwork to try and help. You know, they would drive them around, they would buy things, they would have Amazon wish lists, we would get them clothing, we would get them things that they needed for their house. We try and help in whatever way we could, because the organizations that brought him here were only helping him up for 3 months. And as you know, as someone talked earlier, 3 months is a very hard time to come into a new country, learn the language, learn to drive, get to school, and everything else within that period of time. But these guys definitely managed it. These are all donations and things that SCM still does. We are here in Seattle for the last 2 years and not doing much work overseas because of the pandemic. So that was it. So, but now that it's gone, COVID is supposedly leaving us. We're going to go back and start doing our medical missions again. But right now we're going to be working more in Lebanon because of the situation in Lebanon as it is. And the person that's in charge of the Lebanon is Ali Oseran, that's sitting there at that table. And he has taken in 3 containers, so he's unloading them and distributing them. They're medical containers, clothing, food supplies, and everything else. So really, it's a lot of you guys and the people here and our volunteers that keep SCM in existence and keeps us alive. I mean, we're a total volunteer organization, so we appreciate everything that everyone does. And we are still working. The situation is still not that great at this point right now. As you probably have heard, somebody just saw themselves. Cholera is all over in Syria. It's really bad. It's spread to Jordan. It's in Turkey at this point. It's in Lebanon, as I read up today, and going into Egypt. So it's not very good. So we're going to still need more help. And if anybody wants, there are donation forms, and there's an envelope you can put it in if anyone wants to make a donation. We'd appreciate it. Now, another thing is that after this whole event, we have a table in the back. And that is going to be, there are presents for the women, presents for the men, and presents for the kids that are there. So please help yourselves. their bags so you can take things in. If you know someone that didn't come and they need one of the presents, please give that to them. Also, the food on the other side has been made by a Libyan woman, a Moroccan woman, and an Egyptian. So you're not getting anything Syrian. The Syrians all asked and they wanted to bring food, but we told them, nope, this is a celebration for you. We don't want you to cook or do anything. We want you to come here and eat and enjoy yourselves. So I thank you all very much for coming and all the support we've gotten for SCM from everybody here. And I think that's it. If there's any questions at all, I can answer them, but don't ask me any immigration questions. Any of that stuff is after the fact, not today at all. We appreciate it. Yes, go ahead.
For a newcomer to the organization, and my mistake, I don't know what the S and the C stands for.
Oh, okay. SCM stands for Celeb Cultural Museum. Right. It was started as the idea of a museum, and that is still going, and we're still trying to find it. But because when the war started in Syria, we ended up changing it to do medical missions right now. So that's just another charge of SCM. So we have two different portions of SCM on there. All right, thank you. Okay, any other questions at all? Okay, then let's get back